Okay, today's memoir is on Exhibit 9 again, Part 2. Of course, Exhibit 9 is public information. The inside trader's price fixing, felonies, and liabilities as deceptive forms. Exhibit 9 proves, beyond a shadow of doubt, of more international legalizations in spite of contradicting the Constitution, in spite of contradicting the rule of law, and in spite of contradicting Exhibit 9's filed evidence. Your get out of jail free cards contain that if you're caught red-handed, now anyone can file and record as many fraudulent correction instruments as anyone so chooses and against anyone so chosen. To fraudulently change any deed of trust, legal land descriptions to illegal land descriptions, anyone so chooses. As inside traders, price fixing, felony counts, cause and effect counts, multitude of chain reactions thereof, within any filed and recorded correction instruments, fraud. As inside traders, price fixing, of confirming the RICO membership's felons who accepted the liabilities thereof under the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act of 2010 as being deceptive forms. As inside traders, price fixing, illegal foreclosures, and at the expense of any stockholders' losses of annual and increasing interest income thereof. Anyone, any board of directors, or any inside traders who so choose to inflict stock losses against. Now, within the Texas correction instruments, you have to know facts. You have to know who's involved. You would have to know me. Now, anyone can name any grantor, anyone so chooses, to any fraudulent government documentation and against anyone so chosen, especially against any victim who did not sign and refuses to be a victim of any RICO bank, lawyer scams, money laundering schemes. Now, anyone can government document within RICO bank, which RICO bank is in fact the beneficiary, and name the RICO trustee who also did not sign the fraudulent government documentation anyone so chooses to racketeer against, as being the senior bank officer at the Amarillo location, who does not personally know the facts, nor personally know Jerry Artho, who banked at the Canyon branch location. The December 15, 2020 merger proposal of SEC's internationally traded HOMB stock, page 126. This Amarillo banker, age 59, executive vice president, culture ambassador. In the same SEC merger proposal, page 173, the beneficiary owner as this Amarillo banker, amount and nature of beneficiary ownership, 77,576, percent of shares outstanding, 0.40%. Now, anyone who has never even personally met or personally owned Jerry Artho can government document and RICO admit personal knowledge of the facts for the benefit of Happy State Bank in Amarillo, Texas. In fact, since Exhibit 1 has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that they cannot be trusted. Marcy Willis, if a Marcy Willis even exists, RICO admits preparing the above referenced deed of trust recorded in June of 2012 and has the clerk's number. When the facts within Exhibit 1 prove beyond a shadow of doubt Marcy Willis knew the correct legal land description. When the facts within Exhibit 6 confirms the correct legal land description, I researched all the way back to the Texas Republic, the Republic of Texas in 1836, and when Texas joined the Union in 1845. Been using the same legal land descriptions, and I don't think you can change it now. I know you can. When the facts within Exhibit 11 confirms even Happy State Bank Director Lawyers Law Firm knew the correct legal land descriptions while posting illegal foreclosures, Marcy Willis, if she even exists, RICO admits to illegally changing the facts of her prior correct legal land description of Z5 to felony and illegal land description block 5C. Now, if you're caught red-handed, just like Happy State Bank's caught red-handed, you'd be a fool not to use these get-out-of-jail-free cards as international case law and ethic changes. And even later, in Exhibit 21, the facts, RICO Happy State Bank double deed collateralized Marcy Willis's correct legal land description, Z5, and the illegal land description, 5C. As one of 3 deeds of trust, Happy State Bank felony and fraudulently collateralized twice within federal bankruptcy proceedings. If Marcy Willis does exist, and if Marcy Willis is an attorney, like Happy State Bank's director lawyer is attorney, his law firm's attorneys and all attorneys involved are subject to Texas state laws of felonies committed on Texas state soil. Under the Burisic law of a $10,000 fine for each count, each and every count, cause and effect counts over and over again. Paid directly to their clients they represented, their law firm owners and or stockholders, Happy State Bank's stockholders, for economic losses. Now let's say Happy State Bank was a $2 billion bank and merged within the SEC's internationally traded HOMB and settled for 50 cents on the dollar. That's a $1 billion loss in economic losses and more owed to the stockholders and to the victims thereof. When any nation allows their financial institute to double collateralize as penalties of perjury, as unenforced and above the Constitution, as public debt owed to the U.S. Treasury, the SEC and the victims thereof. Financial institutes' contempt of court as unenforced and above the rule of law's lack of jurisdiction. Financial institutions' obstructions of justice as being enforced to close down positive cash flow food production. Obstructions of justice of being enforced to close down international food exportation and the federal, state, and county international designated funding thereof. Obstructions of justice as being enforced as international anarchy, world economic treason through international case law and ethic changes. But you are enlightened and corrected to the fact that you have no rights whatsoever. You too will discover you have no choice but to internationally file your own credit report as frozen, and in fact remain internationally frozen until further notice of the get-out-of-jail-free cards being overruled and collection of all the tax-paying consumers, commoners' squandered funding, the fines, and the retribution owed to the U.S. Treasury, the SEC, and the victims thereof are in fact paid in full. When all three branches of our government, so-called leaders of the free world who created, inflicted, and allowed the above, tax-paying commoners have no choice but to stop increasing their county, state, and federal jurisdiction budgets thereof. Now, we the tax-paying commoners, we can survive without politicians very well. Politicians cannot survive without tax-paying commoners.